Hi there, welcome along to another workout for you to row along to. Look at this, after me saying in yesterday's workout that we weren't going to get another sunny day in October, it's happened again. It's incredible. So anyway, we're going for it. So it's week 2 in session 5. Now this means it's a mid-tier workout today. And remember, mid-tier means it's a hard effort. Mid doesn't mean easy, but it also doesn't mean max. So today's session is going to be a 10-minute interval at 20 strokes per minute and 2k plus 18 pace. Then you're going to rest 2 minutes and do 4 minutes at 24 strokes a minute and 2k plus 12. Rest another 2 minutes, then we go back to that 20 strokes a minute at 2k plus 18 for 10 minutes. Rest another 2 minutes, and then we're going to finish off with 4 minutes at 28 strokes a minute, and your pace will be 2k plus 6, which is just a tiny bit under your 5k pace. Okay, so like I say, it's going to be a tough one, but it's not going to be max. Okay, when you think about it, it shouldn't really tip you over. So let's get started with a 4-minute warm-up first. So set your drag factor, please. If you don't know about drag factor, check out the video on this channel. Set your monitor to eye height so you don't have to look up, don't have to look down. And foot straps, like I've got a shoe, got a prop today. Make sure and set it so it covers the bottom lace on your shoe, or if you're in socks like me, just lets you hinge forwards at the front properly, comfortably. So sunglasses on. Hopefully the sun will stay out today. And we'll get into our 4-minute warm-up. Around about 18 strokes a minute. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so let's just kick into this. Remember, the point is that we're easing into it, okay? This is a warm-up. This isn't a, I'm already really hot and I'm going for it. So 18 strokes a minute, just get your body moving. Don't worry too much about pace. Once we get a minute through this warm-up, we'll start to think about our technique a little bit. Just think about where the power is coming from, all that kind of stuff. But just for the next 20 seconds, make sure you're just starting to move a little bit more comfortably with each stroke. It's a little butterfly. Wouldn't have thought butterflies were out in October. I don't know so. Okay, so just focus on what's happening with your legs. Okay, so come into the front of the machine and push away, okay? Helps to think about pushing the machine away from you rather than pushing yourself away from the machine. Oi, cloud, go away. And then just at that point of pushing, just think about what your arms are doing. Are they nice and straight? And letting that power go from your legs up into your arms. Right, one more stroke. Let's take a foot out the strap and just do some single leg rowing. Come on, son, you can do it. Get out from behind that cloud. So the point of single leg rowing is, oops, not to fly off the seat. The leg's too far back. To help you get that compression at the front, focus on the power coming from your leg as you drive out from it. Swap legs. So nice and comfortable. Push back with your leg. Try and keep that lean forwards. I'll talk about technique obviously during the main workout. Let's do one more here. Both legs in, slight bend to the knees, and then back and arms. Try and hit that catch right at the front. Just pick up that flywheel. It's all about that connection. Okay, and the opposite. Straight arms, and then just pick up the flywheel at the front. Give a good press with the legs, but you don't need to worry about doing a full leg drive. You can just pick it like that. Try not to overlean with your back like I was just doing. Just keep your back angle right. And we're done. Well, not done, it's the warm-up done. So, keep sliding up and down the rail, have a quick drink, I'll explain again what it is we're doing today. Alright, so once again we're going to do a 10-minute, then 4-minute, then 10-minute, then 4-minute interval with 2-minute rest in between. Now, if you want to set your monitor to that, make sure to set the rests to undefined rather than giving it the 2 minutes, because otherwise we're going to go hideously out of sync, okay? Now the first 10, well, both of the 10-minute intervals, you can be doing at 20 strokes a minute and at 2k plus 18 pace. The first 4-minute interval, you'll be doing at 24 strokes a minute and 2k plus 12 pace. But then the second 4-minute interval, you're going to be doing at 28 strokes a minute and 2k plus 6 pace. Okay, so that last one is going to bite. So remember, this is a mid-tier session, which means it's going to be hard. The whole point of this is it's going to be hard, but not max, but not easy, if you get what I mean. Right, so if you're all stretched, you've had a quick drink, there you go, sunglasses on. So 10 minutes, 20 strokes per minute at 2k plus 18. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So it's just one stroke every 3 seconds. And remember, 2k plus 18 is also described as, well, I kind of have as 5k plus 13. I didn't really form that sentence very well, did I? What I'm saying is that if you have a 2k pace you're working from, then it's 2k plus 18. If you have a 5k average 500 meter time that you're working from, then it's 2k plus 13. And I'd rather use your 5k than a 2k because it's, well, it's attached to your actual ability. So for me, 2k plus 18 or 5k plus 13 is 203. And I really don't want to overcook this. I could, okay, so I could quite easily put this to, say, 2k plus 10 right now. But then I wouldn't be able to hold the 4-minute interval and the 10 and the other 4 that are to come. So in terms of a mid-tier workout, right now we're rowing a little bit slower because this is obviously a bottom tier pace, but by the time you throw in these 2 4-minute intervals, that's what's going to take us up to a mid this week. Okay? So the 20-minute total duration at this pace, plus the 2 4 minutes at a faster pace, will make this a mid-tier. So, as we hit 3 minutes to go, sorry, 3 minutes gone, 7 minutes to go, idiot. But you're looking at your counter going, hey, what's he on? But yeah, so we're hopefully on pace, nice and warm, not suffering, and we've hit a nice groove, which means it's time to think about what your groove is. It comes down to technique. And I'll try not to just spend the whole not a butterfly. Actually scared me. Came out of my peripheral vision. I'm like, what's that? This would be the dangers of rowing outside. So yeah, I don't want to spend the whole row today just talking about technique. So that'd be dull. So how about try and get most of it out the way over the next 5.5 minutes. I'll give you a broad overview, okay? So, your back, you're swinging it from, as you look at me, 11 o'clock at the front, holding it, and then as your leg drive is almost done, you swing into the 1 o'clock position, and then straight back into 11 again, ready for the next stroke. Your arms, make sure as you come into the front of the stroke that they're nice and relaxed and straight. Okay? Loose, relaxed shoulders, and then keep them straight as you start the stroke, and only when your leg drive is finished and your backswing is almost finished do you bend your elbows, draw your elbows through your sides, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and give a good solid pull into a finish. And then when you're done with the pull in, send your hands straight back out at the same pace again. And nice and straight over your knees. Your back swings over your hips. And you're ready to just bend your knees and slide to the front of the machine with your back and arms already in the correct position. Now, the things that will help with your back and arms come down to the angle you end up at the front of the machine at, which helps with the slide forward on the seat. So only go as far forwards as you need to in order to get your shins pointing to a vertical position. So just that forward. Don't bang the seat off your heels. Because that way you may be undoing your forward lean, over compressing and creating power leaks. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to everyone, But it happens to more people than it doesn't if you try and slide so far that your seat bangs off your ankles. So just think shins vertical, and then as you start the stroke, like I said in the warm-up, just think about push the machine away from you. It can help to really just think about getting those heels right down into the foot plate to help it feel like you're springing backwards from the foot plates as you start the leg drive. Keep those arms straight. Try not to round in your shoulders, which is what I do a lot. Got a habit of overextending, and that's what's caused me injury on my right shoulder. Fortunately, what it means is I know when I get it wrong, because I get a sharp pain on my shoulder, whereas you have to focus on it yourself. Okay, so 4, 3, 2, 1. All done. Okay, so I finished slightly under my pace. That was an average of 202.6, is that right? Yeah. Or it should have been 203. That's fine. I don't think that counts as pushing it. Have a drink, make sure you're hydrated, especially if you're rowing in the sun like me. Although, it's odd. It's that time of the year where when the sun's out, sun's out, I get a nice kind of glow of heat across me. But right now when the sun's gone behind the clouds, you can feel how cold the air is. But hey, it's October in Glasgow. The air's always cold, even in June. But still, I mean, look at this. Hopefully if this weather continues, if I get a day off soon, I'll take you up to the hills with me or something, set up the rowing machine somewhere nice on the loch side or something. I'm not saying that'll happen, but keep on thinking that'd be quite nice to do. I'm just too worried about someone coming up from behind and going, "All right, big man, what are you up to? Oh, has someone stolen your boat?" Heavy sigh. Yeah, got like the Scottish banter sometimes. All right, so 20 seconds to go. If you're on undefined rests, press the button to start or get ready for the next interval. We're going to be going up to 24 strokes a minute, and your pace is going to be 2k plus 12, which is 5k plus 7, I think. Yeah. All right, so let's get ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This is one stroke every 2.5 seconds now for 24 strokes a minute. What do I need to be at? So I said 2k plus 12, 5k plus 7, which means 157 I'm aiming for in this one. Now, just changing up the stroke rate seems to have just got this groove in. I'm not having to particularly focus on driving any harder with my legs. In fact, I'm overcooking things a bit. That's better. Remember, this is a mid-tier. So this is meant to just let you feel the odd bite of a slightly harder row, but not feel like you're at max. I just have this thing where I love 24 strokes a minute. I think it's like what my body wants to dance to. Just feels so comfortable. Everything about the rhythm feels right for me. And that's why I feel it's easier for me to add in more pace than is required. All right, 2 minutes to go, 48 strokes, if you're counting. 2K plus 12. By the time you get through the next 10 minutes and then on to the final 4 minutes, this will have properly revealed itself as a mid-tier workout. Right now it's solidly slap bang in the middle of mid, say 7 out of 10 effort for me. When you think 5 to 6 is where I put bottom tier. Just remember, this is the kind of workout that you don't feel you could keep on forever at it. 20 strokes a minute, you probably do. But if you did 10 minutes at this pace, it would start to bite, which is the point. Last stroke. There we go. That was easy, wasn't it? So heart rate's up at 160, which is, from a rowing point of view, 15 clicks off my maximum, 25 off the maximum I reached. 25, yeah, on a bike, but I was reading more about that, and the machine you use can affect what your max is. So maybe it's the max heart rate. Well, actually, max heart rate is 178. I've got to on the row machine, so not 175. But I've done 185 on Zwift on the bike. Drink. Oh, so it's a Friday. I know this will probably end up being uploaded on, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. So you're going to be like, no, it's not. It's a Monday or Tuesday, mate. Or you're watching it at a completely different date and it's no longer October either. But anyway, for me right now, in this time and place, in this part of space that I occupy, it's Friday, which means spaghetti. Spaghetti bolognese. Every night, or sorry, every Friday night. Every Friday night for the past 19 years, apart from holidays and special occasions and things. Spaghetti bolognese on a Friday. It's nice to have a tradition. Right, press the button if you're on undefined rest to set up the next interval. We're going in 8, 7, 6, 5. And remember, this is back to 20 strokes a minute. 3, 2, 1. Go. So just back down to 20 strokes a minute at 2K plus 18. Shouldn't feel particularly tough to get back into stroke rate. You might even find, like I just was, that you overcook it a little bit at the start because of what you were just doing like 24s, because your brain was like, hey man, let's go faster. But a lot of these sessions are about developing your skill on the rowing machine. And not skill as in you can do stunts and trick shots, but that ability to adjust how you're rowing depending on what you need to do. So rather than always just climbing on the machine and mindlessly banging out 10 minutes with no thought to pace or stroke rate, and especially no thought to how they relate to each other. What I'm trying to do is, without ever really saying it's what's happening, apart from today, I'm trying to teach you how to adjust your pace just by using stroke rate, and not really thinking about I have to push harder with the legs or pull stronger with my arms. You just think, all right, 2k plus 12, that means I have to do 24 strokes a minute. Of course, that only really suits for these training sessions, but once you know what your body's capable of, you can then make sure you're ready for the more intense rows. Like if you're to do a 30-minute time trial, you think, right, how am I best to deal with 30 minutes? For me, I do it between 26 and 28 strokes a minute, and my pace is run about 2k plus 10 maybe. So at those stroke rates, I'm going slower, well, ish, than we are right now. But you get what I mean. You adjust your pace to your stroke rate. In fact, actually, 2k plus 10. Yeah, that is slower. There we go. That'd be the maths fail. Has to be one. I have to get my maths wrong at least once. Might try and do a 30-minute test soon. See what happens, because that would be, for me, 155. Which right now feels manageable. So we'll see. That's the point. So what I'm saying is, you consider your whole body as a machine that is here for power, fitness and efficiency when rowing. So you're not only thinking about stroke rate, you're not only thinking about driving with the legs or pulling in with the arms, you're thinking about the whole package. 5 minutes to go on this one, and how it can affect your pace. Which is why I talk about technique so much, to be honest. And why I want you to try and concentrate on it as often as possible, with the hope that your technique at 20 strokes a minute is pretty much the same as your technique at 28 strokes a minute. The only difference is your speed up and down the rail is going to be quicker in order to be able to do a faster stroke rate, which usually means slightly harder leg drive, but the drag factor of the machine also means the flywheel won't have slowed down as much, so it's not like you have to put loads more power in. There's a curve to how much stroke rate affects the amount of leg power you have to put in. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio anyway, because of drag factor and the amount the flywheel slows down in between strokes. Because at 20 strokes a minute, the flywheel has got 2 whole seconds to slow down in between strokes. At 30 strokes a minute, it's only got 1 second to slow down. So you won't be fighting against the weight of the machine as much at a higher stroke rate, but the leg power you put in just makes you go faster. So it'll feel just as powerful. You still have to put in the same amount of a push, but instead of at 20 strokes a minute overcoming the weight of the flywheel in order to maintain 203 in my case, at 30 strokes a minute the weight of the flywheel is less, so more of my leg power goes to just making the flywheel turn. But the machine knows that. It calculates the difference, and that's how it's an even race across different rowing machines, and how if I had my drag all the way to the top at 200 and you had yours all the way at the bottom at 100, it'd still be an even race. If we both covered 2,000 meters in 8 minutes, we'll both have had to put in the same amount of work to do the same distance in the same time. It's like two people racing up a flight of steps, exactly the same steps, side by side. They start and finish at the same time, except one of them takes them one at a time, the other one takes them 4 at a time. Still an even race, it's just their approach. One of them took less but tougher steps, the other one took more but easier steps. Here we go. 2, 1. Of course, that then, if you're talking stroke rate on my steps analogy, kind of falls apart slightly. That if you, because you can't have 30 steps a minute at 4 steps versus 30 steps a minute at 1 step. Because obviously the other guy is going to be finished 4 times as fast as the other one. But what it means is that if you actually flip it on its head and say the 1 step a minute person is taking their 4 steps for the 4-step person, bear with me, taking 1 step. So he goes 1, the other one goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you get what I mean? You don't really need to know this, but hey, didn't actually specifically talk technique. What we got? Looks like a 737. I love planes. You know, if I had it to do all over again when I was young, I think I'd have trained, now knowing what I know and all that kind of stuff, I'd have trained to be a pilot. Unfortunately, when I was the age to make that decision, I wanted to be the drummer for Van Halen. So, which strangely never happened. You'll find Van Halen have a drummer called Alex Van Halen. And if history shows anything, is that they're going to show nepotism and keep their own family members over external people. Poor Michael Anthony. Okay, press your button. We're going in 10, 9. Remember, this is 28 strokes a minute at 2k plus 6. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, so we're starting at 2k plus 6 at 28 strokes a minute, okay? So for me, that's 151. There we go. Now I say starting because for the last minute of this interval, if you want to go for it, then go for it. But I don't want you to change your stroke rate. So if you feel you've got, oh, I'm slowing down. If you feel you've got the power in you, with 1 minute to go, and I want you to commit to that decision at 1 minute to go. Not 30, not 45, 1. And then you'll hold 28 strokes a minute, but see if your leg power can make you go faster. Because that's half of the way you sprint. The other half is to increase your stroke rate, but completely going against what I said about letting stroke rate govern your pace. You also need to know when to unleash power from the legs. To make sure you squeeze all of the cardio and muscle power from your body at the end of a 5k. So here we go. You ready? Let's go. Same stroke rate. What can you manage? Don't worry if you need to increase as we go. 30 seconds. Come on. 10 seconds. Hold your technique. Drive from the legs. 10 seconds. Last stroke. Hoots. And that's what makes it a mid. For anyone thinking that was an easy workout, that's what certainly takes you full into the mid tier. I finished that at 2k minus 7. No, yeah. 5k minus 12. Which is good. Right. Here comes another. Is it near bus? It's not the A380, we don't get many of them. Can't tell, I've got sweat in my eye. Right, cool down. Let's go. I can't tell. Oh, hang on. I'll do it by my watch. So I hope you stuck with me, trusted in me that was a mid-tier session, even though the first 10, first 4, and maybe even the second 10, you'll have been thinking, this is quite a bottom end mid-tier, if anything. By the time you got that 1 minute surge at the end, that's what took it up to mid. Now, with this being session 5, depending on how you've split your rest days, you may have 2 in front of you, which I do. I have a Saturday and a Sunday. So I'm going to take one of them as a rest, and the other one I might do the 30 minutes, see how I feel. But you do the same. Just think about how you're going to spend your rest days, no matter where they fall. But make sure to take at least, and I mean at least, 1 full rest day. Let your body recover. How are we doing? Right. So, I'll see you in week 3, session 1. But in the meantime, make sure and leave a comment to this YouTube video. Click subscribe button, the little bell means you'll then get notified when I put up rows. I'm kind of doing them one a day right now to try and get this whole plan up, but once we're done with the plan, I'll ease off, so don't worry. You might get an email every day almost from me, but once the plan's out the way, I'll ease off. But I'm enjoying doing it this way, it's great. Just sticking to this plan and not really adjusting it for other stuff. I think it's good for both of us that I'm training at the pace I should be while talking to you, rather than having a buffer. And it means you've constantly got it in front of you as well. You can see how I'm getting on. You don't think, is he taking it easy today? Which I certainly wasn't towards the end of that. So, we missed the very obvious hashtag yesterday of al fresco, with it being out in the sun. That's because the sun went away, didn't it? So today, even though we may have used it before in one of the previous sunny ones, let's just embrace the sun in October. And if you made it all the way to this point in the video, just to prove that you did, and no cheating, no skipping to the end, then use hashtag al fresco. Thanks once again for being part of this. I really do appreciate it. You're helping me as much as I'm helping you. Have a great day. Enjoy your spaghetti. Oh wait, that's me. Bye-bye.